Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, good afternoon. How are you today? We are from group 4 and the member is Ahmad Farhan, Farhan Aulady, Ahsan Taufiq and Fara Anandita. Today we will present you, tell you and explain you about delivery in public speaking. Okay, we get started to the materials. This is the mind map. We make it for you and make it simple. Notes for speaking can go bad. Notes are meant to enhance your presentation rather than either good delivery. Notes are meant to help a speaker move from tough to tough rather than word. Many speakers believe that more notes have the better their speech. It should exist during development phase than once you are. This is some tips for note. First, make an eye contact. When it comes to public speaking, making and maintaining eye contact can be tough. Making eye contact helps people trust you. If you are scared of making eye contact, here are some exercises to try until you can get it right. And then tone. Research say that the tone of your voice carries magic, that the words you choose to say. When delivering your speech, make sure that the tone of your voice match the intent tone of your content. And then practice. You should always give yourself ample time for several practice sessions before your actual presentation. Be sure to time your speech during each practice sessions, and practicing will make you feel more comfortable. And the last is body language. Stride confidently to the speaking area, which can boost your confidence. If you wish to move to take steps that are slow, deliberate. And then we move to the second material is speaking for engagement. The first is rate. What is rate? Rate is speaking refers to how fast or slow you speak. If you speak too fast, your audience will not be able to absorb the information you present. If you speak too slowly, your audience may lose interest. The perfect rate is vary your rate of speaking in a middle range. Use higher rate of speaking signals that the speaker enthusiastic about his or her topic. And the second is volume. Volume refers to how loud or soft your voice. So you have to know how loud your voice when you in the small room with a few audience. When you in the large room or in the outside of the room. And the last is pitch. What is pitch? Pitch is how high or low speaker's voice. There are psychological limitations on the control we have over pitch. Changing pitch is good way to communicate enthusiasm and indicate emphasis or closure. Okay, next we'll tell with my friends.
The third point is speaking for clarity. So point 1 is articulation. Articulation refers to the clarity of sounds and words we produce. If the speaker do not speak clearly, the articulation will be poor. Unwillingness and laziness are two common challenges to articulation. The second is pronunciation. This refers to speaking words correctly, including the proper sound of the letter and the proper emphasis. Clear pronunciation is a must for a good presentation. It's important for listeners to be able to understand and catch the message easily and clearly. Correct pronunciation can be attained through careful practice. And the last is fluency. Fluency refers to the flow you're speaking. To speak with fluency means that your speech flows well and that there are no interruptions to the flow. Minimize fluency hiccups and verbal fillers. And the next material will be explained by Farhan Aulady.
Okay, thank you for Farah. For the next is about physical delivery. The first point is facial expressions. Facial expression can help bring a speech to life when used by a speaker to communicate emotions and demonstrate enthusiasm for the speech. And facial expression help set the emotional tone for a speech, and it is important that your facial expressions stay consistent with your message. And the next point is eye contact. Eye contact is an important element of nonverbal communication in all communication settings. And for the next point is gesture. Gesture is included arm and hand movements. We all go through a process of internalizing our native culture from childhood. An obvious part of this process is becoming fluent in a language. Perhaps less obvious is in the fact that we also become fluent in nonverbal communication gesture in particular. And number 4 is posture. Posture is the position we assume with our bodies, either intentionally or our habit. Although people, especially young women, used to be trained in posture. And the next point, number 5, is movement. Sometimes movement of the whole body instead of just gesturing with hands is appropriate in a speech. I recommend that beginning speakers hold off trying to incorporate body movement from the waist down until they've gotten at least one speech done. This allows you to concentrate on managing anxiety, focus on more important aspects of delivery like vocal variety, avoiding fluency hiccups and verbal fillers, and improving eye contact. And number 6 for the last is personal appearance. Looking like a credible and prepared public speaker will make you feel more like one and will make your audience more likely to perceive you as such. This applies to all speaking contexts, like academic, professional, and personal. Although the standards for appropriate personal appearance vary between contexts, meeting them is sky. And that's from me. For the next material will be Ahsan part. For Ahsan, this is your time.
Okay, thank you, Farhan Aulady. And then the next is 4 types of speech delivery. Number 1, writing your outline. Informative organizational patterns. There are 3 major components to any presentation. Number 1, the introduction. Number 2, the body. And then the conclusion. The natural inclination would be to start writing a presentation with the introduction, since this section comes first. Number 2, the body. The body is the heart of the speech. It takes the longest to get through. In an 8-minute speech, the body is between 6 and 7 minutes long. It is composed of 3 sections: main points, sub-points, and evidence. And then skill and strategies. Developing the speech. Number 1, choosing a subject which is of interest to the speaker. When a speaker chooses a topic that interests him, he will most likely have a better presentation if he has planned well what he intends to say. Number 2, choosing a subject that is great interest to the audience. Remember that the primary aim of any speech is to carry the audience along. The audience must be interested in whatever the speaker is presenting. In this case, the needs, age level, background of the audience should be of paramount importance. Always take note of the structure of the speech, which includes number one, title, which should include types of speech. Number two, salutation, which entails recognizing the dignitaries who are present at the occasion. Number three, body, which must be well written and logically present with appropriate. Number four, conclusion, which should be done with an echo of the introduction. And then signature, with which most written and read speech are usually signed. And then the last is preparing a speech to be delivered entails three things. Number one is gathering the materials needed for the speech. Number two, writing out the speech. Number three, deliver or the prepare speech. Okay, the next part will be explained with Fara Anandita.
The last point is delivering the speech. With the speech written down, the next step is delivering of the speech. In order to deliver a speech perfectly well, there are few points that will definitely make your presentation less difficult. These points are first is rehearse alone. This will help to discuss some mannerisms which you may need to eliminate. Always swing your gaze from left to the center and to the right rather than gazing at the ceiling or the floor. Imagine your audience to be before you. The second is practice before a friend. After practicing alone, there is a need to practice before a friend who will help you to correct some mannerisms which you may need to eliminate. The third is record your speech. There might also be need to record and play the speech you intend to present to your audience. Consider your dressing on the day you present your speech can make or may your speech. Knowledge your introduction. When you are called to deliver your speech, there is need to recognize the importance of the audience. You may bow by the members of the high table, if any, and to the audience. Manage your anxiety. Once you are called upon to deliver a speech, there is the tendency that you will experience some anxiety in you. The ability to manage this anxiety is of paramount importance to a public speaker. The fifth is always face your audience. In delivering your speech, always look at and speak to your audience. However, as a beginner, you are advised not to see directly and suddenly into the eyes of your audience. Speak distinctly. In your speech delivery, there is no reason to be unduly slow or nervously fast. The last is keep your purpose in mind. Show an interest in what are you saying with some confusion. Always remember that you have something important you want to share with others and do it with some enthusiasm.
Okay, so that's all presentation from group 4. Thanks for the attention. Thanks for my friend too for joining this uh, PowerPoint presentation. So I was gonna say thank you and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.